Go back to share screen. Okay, so we've got two different form types that you'll be using. One will be a money request, and one will be a purchase order. They're the two ones that they're the only two that you would probably use. You wouldn't use any other one apart from these two. So the difference between the request types, you've got three different types: reimbursement, pay supplier, and an advance. So a reimbursement would be, so for example, if you've already paid a supplier and you're waiting for the funds to come back to you, so if you've actually gone out of your way, again, like I said, when it comes to maybe like buying something that you've already paid and you're waiting for the guild to pay you back the money, you would then put the reimbursement in. That's what I said before. It is very important to make sure you keep the receipts so we know how much we owe you, and we can then calculate the VAT against, so for our own accounting and stuff. So that would be the reimbursement. Paying a supplier, so if you're going to, so paying a supplier usually as you go along. So if you found a supplier and you want to arrange a payment, you'd have to submit the request that way. So if you wanted to buy something, again, through Amazon or through any other third parties, you found a payment and you want to make a payment for whatever it is, even like a water bottle or anything like that, you would need to put the request in through there. An advance payment is usually when a society training, so if you've got an event coming up and you've got a third party speaker who wants to get an advance payment, you would then need to put a request in then. Again, advance payment probably wouldn't be used as often as maybe reimbursement and paying supplier, but we have got that there just in case you do actually need to use it. Here, so how to submit a request. I did try to get access to a test account, but due to technical problems, I wasn't able to get one, unfortunately. I couldn't get access to it, so I've just tried to get a couple of screenshots to try and explain how to submit the request. It probably won't be so easy to track. I'll try my best to explain it as much as I can, but I do appreciate you probably won't be able to know exactly how to navigate things unless you actually go onto the website yourself and figure out how to do it. So let's pick it up here, but you've got some guidelines to follow. So first page here, just for the sake of the video, we've got here home, then you'd have the site here, request, and again there was two request types. There was the money request and there was the purchase order. And just for the sake of the video, we've got money request here. So the request type reimbursements, like I explained to you before, there's three different types. So there was reimbursement, pay a supplier, and advance. So at the minute, we've got onto reimbursement. So you just select onto reimbursement. There'll be three different drop downs and you click onto reimbursement. You would then select the event. So at the minute, it's got a club night. It could be football, cheerleading, whatever the event is, you would then put it on there against the date of the event. The method type, again, we are trying to limit the amount of cash, so just select another method type on there too and just put a description in. So for this one, they put on a smoke machine hire and they put the amount on there. Then you would need to select onto browse and upload the receipt on there. Again, like I said before, if you don't have the receipt on it, it's going to be difficult for us to be able to approve of it, just if we can't see evidence the payment's already been made and the exact figures for that amount. You don't have to just select one description. So if you had a club night, for example, and you paid for a smoke machine and you paid for drinks bottles or anything like that, you don't have to submit a brand new request. All you need to do is click onto create, and then you click onto add item. So this has already been saved on there. You select add item, and a little pop-up will come on there. You would then put in another breakdown of what it is that you want to put on there. Again, it could be food. Here they've got lollipops on there. You put the amount on there, and again, click onto browse, and you select add. Is everybody okay with the way that I'm going so far, or? Everyone good okay? I don't know if the message is. Okay, just from the silence, I'm going to think everyone's okay with it so far. So we're going to go back here, go back here. So once you click on add, go on to the next page and you submit the request. So the next part obviously would be then sent on to either another committee member or a treasurer, but I'll go in through the workflow individually now anyway, so it might give you a bit more clarity of how it's going to work. So now once you've done all of that, the request has been submitted. So you submit the request in, it gets sent over to somebody that's going to now approve the request. So I've just got a little breakdown of the workflow of the request. So right from the beginning, you'll have one committee member. So any committee member can create the request. The requester will then receive a notification every time the request changes status. The requester can recall the request at any point before it reaches finance. So what that basically means is anybody within the committee, anybody within the society or the club can submit a request through. So it could be, like I said, it could be reimbursement, paying a supplier in advance. It would then be sent on for an approval to the treasurer or another committee member to make sure that everything's correct on there. So they would then approve the payment. If they've got any queries, it would then go back. It would then go back from the committee back to the person that's actually submitted the request in order for it to be approved. And it will keep going back until it's actually approved. Again, there'll be a number of factors that probably will stop it. Again, receipts, maybe figures on there, dates on there that might not make sense. That could potentially be the reason why it'd be rejected. So it is very important in order to make sure it's quite a smooth sailing, to make sure that the request is as detailed as it possibly can right from the beginning, to prevent it from having to go back and get any queries on there. So again, like I said, so once the request has been submitted in there, it would then get sent on to either a treasurer or another committee member to get approved, queried or rejected. At least 2 committee members should have permission to approve the request for the clubs and society, and a request cannot be approved by the same person who created it. So the same person that's creating it cannot be the same person that's approving it. It would have to go through a second person. So let's say all plain sailing, society members put everything through, put all the relevant information on there, committee approved that and said, yeah, we're happy for the request to go through and we do need the money. It would then get sent on to Cassie. Cassie would then, again, she'd have the right to then query it and say, if there's anything missing on there, she'll double check anything missing on there, any reason why you need it, if she needs any evidence to say, okay, you need like £300, what are you going to be spending it for, and when you're going to need it by, she can then obviously ask any question that she's got, if she has any, but any, at that point she can also then reject it, query it or approve it. Once it's then been approved, it will be sent on to me and I would then make the payment for you. And again, for this whole process, the person that's creating the request will be getting notification. And at any point, once they've maybe spoken to committee or spoken to staff, if they then decide that they don't want the payment anymore, they can cancel the payment before it reaches me. Once it's reached me, it will get paid. I know it's a lot of information and I can appreciate it. It's really early in the morning. But that's literally how we're going to do it now. Let me bring this down here. Again, like I said, you're probably not going to be able to understand it in full unless you actually get onto the website and have a go at yourself. Once you've done it 1 or 2 times, you'll be absolutely fine with it. If you've got any questions about how to process it or anything like that, I'll be happy to answer any emails or anything like that. If anyone's popped an email in for me, and I know even on the website they've got really good support pages that you can follow. They've got support for committees and everything like that. So you should be okay. And again, when you submit the request in, don't be worried that you've put the wrong thing, because you've got at least 2 people to check it before you actually get the payment. So let's click on here. So has anybody got any questions or want me to go over any part of the presentation? I'll be happy to do that. And again, if I can't answer any of the questions about Cass, that's going to jump it in, and also